Hey friends, welcome. I am sharing some fantastic Aldi finds this week and coming up next week. I don't want anyone to miss out. I'm loaded up and in the car, ready to head out to Aldi. Today is Saturday, April 5th. They have a few really terrific home goods today, and I am hoping to snag some of them. You know how that goes. They drop those things on Tuesday, Wednesday. If you don't get there, you might miss out, but we'll see if I can get lucky. Come along with me and let's check it out. Spring is a great time to be shopping at Aldi. They always seem to hit it out of the ballpark between the gardening supplies and the Easter things. It's just a really fun time to shop at Aldi if you're into the home goods stuff. And the food is always a great deal, of course. So let's head on in here and see what we can find. So right inside the front door, they have a lot of new arrivals. One of these is their tall greenhouse stand. And it's a really great price, $20. Now I'm showing you the dimensions because one thing I don't like about Aldi's website is they often don't show you the dimensions on things. But they have so many terrific items, it's really worth looking. This one they had last week when they rolled out the garden beds, and I picked this up. If you saw that video, this is a potting stand. I'm showing you the dimensions because I really didn't look at those in the store that day. I was having to get to work. But this turned out to be a lot shorter than I expected it, so I returned it. This week they have pallets of gardening soil for $3.99. Last week it was potting soil for $4.99. Now on to the home goods stuff. They have really got some adorable Easter items this year. I really like these appetizer plates. I might have to think about those. And this matching serving platter is beautiful. I happen to have a ton of platters, so I'll talk myself out of this, but that's just stunning. And they have it in 2 or 3 colors. These glass eggs are fun. I don't need one, but I'm just showing you. It's pretty big for $12.99. These pots and pans are so fun in these Eastery colors. I am very tempted. I'll have to think seriously whether or not I might pick up some of these. I love the neutral color, of course. And the quality is always great at Aldi. They have all kinds of accessories here. So if you're in the market for kitchenwares, check out Aldi this week because you cannot beat the prices. These glass serving bowls or storage bowls, you could use them both ways. This I saw in the ad and I really had to look at that, not for me so much, but because it seemed like such a great deal for the price. But again, look at the dimensions because this might not be nearly as tall as you would expect. You know, pictures can be deceiving. And this is so adorable, a cat scratch house. I have bought several of these over the years for the different holidays, and my cats love them. Some freezer storage containers, a refrigerator organization. This is a great week to hit Aldi. Now for a look at a couple other things that are on the pricier side today. This is an egg chair, or whatever the right word is. Not my style, but fun for a patio. This great big pot or planter, that is a fantastic deal, you guys. $15. I can't quite express how large this is. You could plant a tree in that. I got some of this garden liner last year. That's held up really well. And they have gardening bags. Now, I have never seen these before at Aldi. There are 3 to a package for $3.99. That seems like a fantastic deal to me. These little solar lanterns seem like a terrific deal, and they're so fun and contemporary looking. They've got an LED light inside, weatherproof, $12.99. Those are pretty big for $12.99. I've had my eye on these cordless brooms for at least 6 weeks. I'm surprised they have any left. They're down from $6.99 to $52.99. If it gets down to $40, I'm going to snag one. I've got to take a look at the egg prices before I head out. I'm resisting buying any groceries this week, but inquiring minds want to know. And it's surprising to see the specialty egg prices have really dropped. Now they're down to $5.35, $5.45. So why would you not buy these instead of the others for $5, right? Time to head out of here. I'm going to go to Ross. I've got a return to do here, and I want to check out the gardening pots and see what they have in stock. I live in Florida, so they tend to have gardening pots and that sort of thing here all year long, but they really ramp it up in the spring. And I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on Ross. Of course, it's one of those things. They have different items all the time, but you can find some amazing deals here. Let's take a look at this giant pot, which is on a par with what Aldi has this week. Aldi's was $14.99, absolutely the same size as this one. And this one is $29.99, so half price at Aldi, you guys. But Aldi doesn't have them on the regular. These are really nice too. A little pricier, but a little fancier, right? And both of these pots would accommodate a tree. So be sure to check out Ross if you're in the market for something like this for your patio. They have got a great selection. And a little bit of statuary here, that's fun. This one happens to be on clearance. I think that's a fantastic price. These are nice too. All kinds of great things out there for the patio right now. But let's get out of here and head home, and I'll show you what I bought at Aldi. So I made it back home. Let me spin you around and show you the few things I picked up today. And then let's talk about what Aldi is getting in next week that you may very well want. I want to give you as much notice ahead of time as I can. And then I'll give you a quick little garden update on those new beds and how things are looking out there, and we'll wrap it up. So here's my haul. I really wanted some new pans, you guys, and I closed a couple of lots this week, so some extra money. And man, they have such great prices at Aldi, as you saw in the store. And let me show you the pans I've been working with. These blue and white ones were from Aldi 7-8 years ago. They're still serviceable, but you know, the joy is gone. So I'll probably Goodwill those for what it's worth. You know, someone who's desperate for pans would love to have those, but I was super happy to have a nice, pretty set. That's my little spring gift to me. And I got this one today, $19.99, as you saw. These two, $19.99, so $40. And then if you saw a prior video a couple of weeks ago, I picked up that little guy for $4.99. And even though he's not white inside like these are, still the same color, so I'm calling him part of the set. The other thing that I indulged myself in for Easter are these little appetizer plates. I just thought these were so stinking cute. I do wish instead of the egg shape that they had just made these round so that they wouldn't be so Easter specific. I just love them. I think they're so precious. I had to say yes to those. And these are going in the Goodwill pile, which is a really big pile, and I need to start hauling this stuff off today. There. Definitely going to Goodwill. So that's it for my little Aldi haul today. Now let's talk about what they're rolling out next week that you may very well want. And I can give you a before and after on it, because I bought one of these things 3 years ago. I am not sponsored by Aldi, you guys. I'm sharing this sneak peek coming up next week. These garden planter boxes. These things are a fantastic deal in my opinion. Let's take a look at the ones I bought 3 years ago. These planter beds I got right after I moved here in the spring of 2022. These are $40 each at Aldi, and they are going to be dropping next week. Tuesday morning, I would run and check Aldi out because these things go quickly, almost as quickly as these beds do. So these are large. These are roughly a little less than 3 feet by about 20 inches, and they're deep. You know, this is a big pot of marigolds. So I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pots in there. Now you can plant you know, you could just fill this with dirt and not do pots. I'm doing pots because I really bought these for flowers. You know how that is. But they do come with this big, thick plastic lining. So if you do want to fill them with dirt, you certainly can. You know, let's say you have an apartment with a balcony. These would be adorable. You could put one on each end of your balcony. So please, if you are thinking about gardening in any sense, go for it. It really will bring you joy. And on that note, let me show you the planter beds and how great those are doing already. And I just wanted to show y'all who were kind enough to watch my video of putting in these new garden beds on each end. Look how great the plants are doing. They did not suffer any damage from being abused while getting that bed in there. If anything, they're like saying, wow, we love it. I mean, look at this sweet potato plant and all these new leaves that busted out in just exactly 1 week. I'm so thrilled. I decided to plant bush green beans here. I think I planted about 10 seeds, you know, 1 packet. And on my way to plant these marigolds over here, I looked down and I realized, wow, this little green bean plant has sprouted. And now I see more sprouts. Woohoo! According to Google AI, companion planting green beans, the bush variety, and sweet potatoes is a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other new bed that I put in exactly a week ago, I'm really shocked on this one, you guys. I put cucumber seeds in here thinking, you know, according to the better expert gardeners on YouTube, it's too late here in Southeast Florida to be planting cucumbers, but I thought, give it a try. If they don't make it, no biggie. Of course, this is early days, but I am impressed with how fast they came up. You know, I've got to separate out a couple of these and kind of spread them in there, but we'll see how they do. Now, if you saw my last video, which got an amazing amount of views, thank you all so much for that. You saw that I had planted some potato chits in here from, you know, store-bought potatoes that had gotten nice. And they took off like crazy. Then all of a sudden they weren't. Well, the gardening experts, which I am not obviously, say that when your potato plants start looking scraggly, that means it's time to harvest them. Well, I did pull one from here and I got a few potatoes that were right on top. But I had 1 or 2 others over here, plants that I haven't attempted to get into because I didn't really want to disturb these marigolds, which the marigolds came from seeds that I'd thrown out in the yard when I was pulling the dead plants last year. And I said, well, let me save them and put them in the pot so the lawn guy doesn't get them. And long story short, I really want to see if I have any more potatoes. And I think I will move these marigolds over to the outside of the garden bed where I can see them from my patio where I sit kind of in the middle there. So now I have a pot full of marigolds and a pot of sad looking potato plants. So let's pull these and see what's what. Maybe none, maybe some, we'll see. Well, I see 1 potato, 2 potato. It's funny because it was just that 1 plant that had all the potatoes growing on top that seemed to do anything, it looks like. So I'm glad I got with it and pulled those so I can make more use out of these broken down buckets, because I think that's it. So that's my garden update for the day, guys. To wrap things up real quick, 2 more fantastic items to be on the lookout for next week. This reclining lounge chair. I bought one 3 years ago. I dragged it to the beach every week. You can't beat the quality. Also, this patio umbrella, same thing, great size. I'm German. These are my great-grandparents from Germany, and we know quality. This is their wedding photo. How stinking cute is that? Last but not least, we have to talk food. Aldi will have a bone-in ribeye roast, $8.99 a pound, and a rack of lamb, $9.99 a pound. Get there quick. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time today. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out one of these others. And I'll see y'all on the next one.